I think one of the things that our country lacks right now is people praying regularly for our nation.
Yep.
And we belong to a little bitty church. We generally have less than 20 people in Sunday school. So.
Look, I think that's how church is supposed to be, so I think that's great.
Yeah, we have set our phone or our Alexa or something every night at 8 p.m. We stop and pray for America. And I would just like to invite everybody that's here to join us in that.
8 p.m. Central every night. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to set my alarm. I want to say something about that. I think this is important. So I'm engaged in politics, and that's what I do for a living now. It's my passion. I'm doing my best, my small part, to save the country. We will not save the country without turning to God. Right? There's not a political solution alone, and that's not just theology, right? That's called history. And if you want a political awakening, you have to have a spiritual awakening that goes with it. If you look at the history of the American Revolution, we have the First Great Awakening before the American Revolution. If you look at the language of the American Revolution, the language that the founders of this country used came straight out of the great roving preachers of the Great Awakening in the 35 years, Whitefield among them, who went all over this country preaching the gospel and opening people's eyes. We have free will as human beings because God gave us free will, not because government gives us free will. And the United States of America exists as the greatest example in human history of human beings having a place where they could live out God's plans for them according to the best of their abilities. We are a self-governing society, at least we're supposed to be. The idea of self-governance, if you want to see self-governance in human history on anything like the scale that we have, you have to go all the way back before the United States to the period of judges in the Old Testament, in the Hebrew Bible. And it's really interesting to me to read Judges and to understand how God told the Israelites to set up government. If you think back, you think they had leaders that were in direct communication with God, and instead of God saying, well, that's the leader, and that's the leader, and that's the leader, he told them to choose judges from among themselves. So the model that God gives us is a model of self-governance according to God's laws, which are primary, and this is something that the framers knew well. They knew it coming out of the American Revolution, out of the Great Awakening that came before the American Revolution. But if you look at our history, I don't want to diverge too much, but I'll point you at the Monument to the Forefathers. That's in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Very few people in America know about this monument. It was a monument built in the mid-1800s. Abe Lincoln was one of the donors, built to the Pilgrims. And it's built to the forefathers because the forefathers built our system of governance based upon biblical principles that they were taught by their pastor before they came to the New World. That monument, there's a great movie by Kirk Cameron called Monumental. That monument is the touchstone for American liberty. If you want to know the formula for how to build a great society, you go to that monument and you read that monument and it will tell you what you
So I'm going to put highlights onto this channel.
Okay, real quick, Justin and this